can be a major challenge to find help for a child with complex needs. These are children who have been diagnosed with both an intellectual or developmental disability, like autism, and a mental health issue. Figuring out how to get them the therapy and supports they need is difficult. That's because North Carolina's behavioral health system, which serves those with intellectual and developmental disabilities, is separate from its mental health system. Families who need help from both systems are often stuck in the middle. Disability Rights North Carolina filed a complaint against the state for not meeting its obligations to these children. We reached a settlement, and the state is implementing a plan to better serve children with complex needs. This plan will affect any child who meets these 4 criteria. 1, he has been diagnosed with an intellectual and/or developmental disability and a mental illness. 2, he is in or is at risk of going into an institutional setting. 3, he has Medicaid. And 4, he is 5 years old to 20 years old. So what effect will the settlement have on the life of a child and his or her family? First, it will be easier for them to get help so they can better live in their communities. Almost anyone who works with or is related to a child can call to get help. That includes family members, pediatricians, social workers, school staff, and employees of the Department of Social Services or the Department of Juvenile Justice. They just need to call the local managed care organization to talk about whether the child may have complex needs. The MCO staff will assess the child's developmental and behavioral status and risk factors. If the child meets the complex needs criteria, he will get a care coordinator to begin services. Those who do not meet the criteria may get referrals for other services. Second, the child will get a comprehensive assessment. This is important to make sure he has the right diagnoses and receives the right services. A professional with experience diagnosing and treating individuals with complex needs will conduct the assessment and then will work with the MCO to make sure the child gets the therapies and services he needs. Third, there is a new resource available for a child with complex needs who is in crisis. Now, everywhere in the state, families can access NC START. That stands for Systemic Therapeutic Assessment, Respite, and Treatment. This is a comprehensive program that provides community-based crisis prevention and intervention services. In addition to helping a child get stabilized, the program provides training and support to parents, teachers, providers, and agencies, anyone who is involved in the child's life. The goal is to build communities that can support children with complex needs. You can access NC START through your local MCO. And families throughout North Carolina can now access an outpatient assessment clinic at the Murdoch Developmental Center in Butner. Its staff includes clinicians who have expertise in working with children with complex needs. The clinic is open 2 half-days a month, and it provides diagnostic and assessment services. However, a child does not need to be assessed at the clinic to qualify for services under this settlement agreement. Any qualified clinician can provide the necessary assessment. Finally, the child's family may qualify for a case manager. A case manager is an expert in helping families access medical, behavioral, social, or other services. This role is essential because navigating the behavioral health system and the mental health system can be confusing and overwhelming if you don't have help. There is even a point person with the state who can help you if you have trouble getting services for a child with complex needs. You can contact the statewide administrator for children with MHIDD and complex needs at 919-733-7011. And here's something important you should know. These services are available because of EPSDT. That stands for Early and Periodic Screening, Diagnostic, and Treatment. It is part of the federal Medicaid law that specifically applies to children under the age of 21. EPSDT ensures a right to all medically necessary care and services for any child who has Medicaid, regardless of the state's service definitions or suggested budget limits. Mention EPSDT when you request any needed service. Disability Rights North Carolina, dedicated to protecting and advocating for the rights of people with disabilities throughout North Carolina. Check out our fact sheets on EPSDT and on services for children with complex needs. They're available on our website, along with important information about lots of disability issues. That's disabilityrightsnc.org.